Are you thinking about making the jump to the Dominican Republic? Can't decide between the vibrant city of Santo Domingo, the tropical beaches of Punta Cana, or the charm of Santiago? Don't worry, I got you covered. In today's video, I'm going to be going over 6 key topics that can either make or break your decision on what destination to move to when deciding to move to the Dominican Republic. Let's dive into it. And we're gonna be grading the cities on the scale of 1 to 3, with 1 being the highest and 3 being the lowest, based off the following 6 criteria points: things to do, infrastructure, healthcare, quality of life, cost of living, and safety. Make sure to have a pen and paper ready, take down the notes. At the end, we're gonna reveal the winner and we're going to find out which of the 3 are the best places to relocate when moving to the Dominican Republic. First off, we're gonna start with things to do. And Santo Domingo has plenty of it. Whether you want some history and you go to La Zona Colonial, or you wanna go shopping in Blue Mall, Agora, Sambil. And one of my favorite things about living in Santo Domingo are the amount of things to do with kids. Whether it's going to La Feria Ganadera and riding horses, riding go-karts in the Malecon, Screamland and Agora Mall. There are tons of things that you can do here in Santo Domingo. That's why I rank it number 1. Punta Cana has the shopping in Blue Mall, it has the restaurants, it has beaches, and water parks, and it has things to do for kids. For someone who's looking to do more outdoorsy stuff and be by the beach, Punta Cana is gonna be your priority, because you're gonna have El Dorado Water Park, which is one of my favorite places to go to take my daughters. My little one loves it. She's an absolute adrenaline junkie. She loves going there. I'm gonna rank Punta Cana number 2. Santiago has a lot of outdoor stuff. You have your Rios, Campos, new shopping mall that's gonna open April of 2025, new hotel accommodations. So Santiago is definitely on the rise. The reason why I rank Santiago number 3 is because unfortunately there aren't many things to do in Santiago for kids. If you're someone that likes the Rios, like the mountains, and Santiago is gonna be your number 1. Remember, I'm giving you tools and knowledge, and you can go down one by one and rank it. When it comes down for things to do, I'm gonna rank Santo Domingo number 1, Punta Cana number 2, and Santiago number 3. The next topic is infrastructure, and I wanna make one thing clear. Regardless if it's Santiago, Punta Cana, or Santo Domingo, many people that visit these cities are oftentimes surprised at the advancements in the infrastructure that we have. Highway, roads, public transportation. When it comes down to infrastructure, I'm actually going to give number 1 ranking to Punta Cana, and here's why. Punta Cana has the busiest airport in the country, the most direct flights, and it's going to provide options for those that are looking to relocate but still need to have easy access to an airport to maybe travel and to do business. Another thing about Punta Cana is that you are going to be able to get around much easier. There are highways, master planned communities, so it really gives you a hybrid feel of living in Dominican Republic as well as living almost like in the United States. So that's something that you want. Punta Cana is definitely the place for you. The city that I rank number 2 is going to be Santiago. Santiago is going through a boom. They are really planning for the future. Santiago right now is in the process of completing the first monorail in the entire Caribbean. Earlier this year, they opened the first teleférico in the city, which has made an incredible impact. There's only 1 line that's open, but in 2025, there's a second line that's gonna open that's gonna go by the university. And the teleférico lines are going to have a transfer point, and it's going to change the landscape of Santiago forever. Their airport is undergoing a massive transformation right now. You're able to get direct flights not only to the United States and South America, but they have launched flights now to Europe. One of the cons is, unfortunately, right now, I'm not sure if it's gonna change, but Santiago does have the most expensive fares out of the 3 cities. That leads me to my number 3, and that's Santo Domingo. Although Santo Domingo does have an international airport, which is a little run down if you ask me, but actually adding a Holiday Inn, Santo Domingo has one of the most advanced public transportation options in the entire country, such as the Metro, which is an underground subway system, as well as above, that transports over 300,000 people per day. So many people, including myself, A, don't even know exist, and B, when you get on, you are just surprised at how clean, safe, and how efficient and effective it is. Or when you used to come to Santo Domingo, you see motoconchos, you used to see people hanging out the buses, and it's something that has dissipated over the years. It also has a teleférico that goes over the Rio Sama, and then you have one that they just opened, Arcarizos, making it a lot more accessible for those who live in rural areas to be able to come into the city, work, without having to wait in these crazy traffic jams. But one of the cons and the reason why I rank Santo Domingo number 3 is because of the traffic, all right? If you know what traffic is like in Santo Domingo, it makes traffic in LA and New York City seem like a cakewalk. Here, it can easily take you 45 minutes to an hour to drive a single block. But for those that are saying, oh no, New York City, no. Over there, people respect traffic laws, intersections. Here, not only do people not follow traffic laws, but you have motoristas that are going in and out, weaving in and out of traffic, and it's chaotic. So when it comes down to infrastructure, I'm gonna rank Punta Cana number 1, Santiago number 2, and Santo Domingo number 3. The third topic we're gonna talk about is healthcare. And this is something that I always get flooded with questions, and to be quite honest, was my biggest fear when moving to Dominican Republic. Not only do I believe in the healthcare system here, but now I'd rather go and visit doctors here because most of them are preventative, you're getting blood work done. Whereas in the US, I felt like people were just prescribing me things without knowing exactly what the root cause of it was. I'm gonna rank the first city, Santiago. And the reason why I'm giving Santiago the number 1 ranking is because Santiago has become a medical tourism hub. People from all over the Caribbean, Central America, South America, and even North America are coming to Santiago to receive medical treatment. That's something that you wouldn't have thought of 30 years ago. Hospitals such as Clínica Unión, Homes, and the brand new Hospital of Advanced Medicine. When it comes down to the medical tourism, Santiago leads the way. The region is definitely embracing, and I've had family that has been hospitalized in those hospitals, great experiences. The second ranked city is going to be Santo Domingo. And the reason why I rank Santo Domingo number 2 is because here your hospitals, not as state of the art as they are in Santiago, but the recently remodeled Hospital, where you saw my viral video where I was hospitalized, went to the emergency room. They just recently remodeled that. I have Corazones Unidos, Abel Gonzalez, to name a few. Now, one of the things that Santo Domingo does have that a lot of people, especially from Samaná, Punta Cana, is that here you're gonna be able to find your doctors and your specialists, which is extremely important. And that's why I rank it number 2. Third and final one is going to be Punta Cana. Punta Cana does have hospitals such as IMG, Centro Médico, and Hospital. You do not have the specialists like you do in Santiago and Santo Domingo. So people have to usually travel from Punta Cana to Santo Domingo to see a specialist. If there are emergency surgeries, you do have your hospitals well equipped. I think that they're actually nicer than the ones in Santo Domingo. However, one of the drawbacks and the reason why I give it the number 3 ranking is the fact that if I do need a specialist, I do have to travel to Santo Domingo or even Santiago to be able to take care of that. So there you have it, my healthcare rankings. Number 1, Santiago. Number 2, Santo Domingo. And number 3, Punta Cana. Now we're gonna talk about quality of life. And this is where things may vary from person to person because some of you may want the beaches, some of you may want the city life, right? However, me personally, when I moved to Dominican Republic, I wanted to be more relaxed. And living in Santo Domingo is like living in New York City. I'm gonna give Santo Domingo number 3. Although it does have all the amenities, the restaurants, one of the big drawbacks, and for me is a huge drawback, let me say it again, a huge drawback is the traffic. Yesterday, we had an event at my daughter's school. A lot of schools were closed. I was able to get to my daughter's school in 5 minutes. That same drive takes me 45 minutes to an hour and a half during regular Monday through Friday traffic. Now, I don't know about you, but an hour there and an hour back, 2 hours a day, or that should be a 10-minute drive, does become overwhelming. It does take a toll. And unless you're willing to ride around in a scooter or a motorcycle, there's no way around it. You have a lot of buildings that are going up in Naco, Piantini, Evaristo Morales. In Naco, to be exact, 45 buildings right now are currently being built. That means hundreds of families are going to move into these neighborhoods, more congestion, cars on the road, and no plans on expanding any of the roads. Traffic today is 10 times worse than when I moved here 3.5, 4 years ago. And it's only going to get worse. Before, there wasn't traffic on the weekends. Now, on a Saturday, you can easily find traffic here. You have to deal with a lot of the pollution because of the traffic and the trash. There's a lot of trash here in Santo Domingo. If you're someone that's single, want to be around people, you may put this higher in your chart because there's going to be more concerts, things to do, better way of meeting more people compared to Punta Cana where it's mostly families. So this is why your scores may change a little bit based off what you are looking for. Here you do have access to a lot of things. However, you are limited as far as what you can do on a daily basis due to the amount of traffic. The second city that I'm gonna rank is Santiago. I absolutely love Santiago. Unfortunately, the downside of not having things to do for kids is a major downside for me. It offers the rios. The people are so much more humble. They're down to earth. Whereas in the capital, they seem to be a little bit more pretentious. In Santiago, you have people that have tons of money that drive hoopties and dress casual. Because they're more humble, they're more down to earth, they come more from rural settings, more campo environments. So if you're looking for that, then that's definitely gonna be at the top of your criteria. Also able to own a home in Santiago, which is also big for me. So if you're looking for that yard, if you want that space, and you don't wanna be in the middle of nowhere, like in Santo Domingo, Arroyo Hondo, Santiago is going to be able to offer that. All the price point of entry is definitely going to be much more expensive. Those Samanes, for example, a house there will cost you $700,000. Pontezuela, $1 million plus. So you are able to have that, however, it comes at a higher tag. And the number one ranked quality of life for me personally is going to be Punta Cana. Now, I know a lot of you are probably shocked, like, man, this guy bashes Punta Cana. It's not that I bash Punta Cana, is that when I talk about it, I talk about the cultural experience that Punta Cana lacks when you compare it to Santiago and Santo Domingo. And that's important to acknowledge because for me, when I moved to Dominican Republic, I wanted to be around the culture and all that. But now that I've been here for several years, one of the things that I do miss about living in the States is like the organization, the master plan communities, the gated communities. With Punta Cana, you get that. There's Punta Cana Village, there's Punta Cana Resort, there's Cap Cana, there's Vista Cana. And you also have schools over there with a brand new one, the Ashton, opening up next year. You're wanting that more relaxed lifestyle, be close to a beach, you're able to walk around in shorts and stuff like that. Punta Cana is going to be the place. Whereas Santo Domingo, a lot of the restaurants here, they won't allow you in with shorts. More formal, it's more of a city lifestyle. So you really need to hone in on what you expect when you move to the Dominican Republic and have a clear picture so that you're setting yourself up for success and not failure. So there you have it, quality of life. Number 1, Punta Cana, number 2, Santiago, and number 3, Santo Domingo. Cost of living, woohoo, cha-ching! Santo Domingo is not cheap, guys. I go out to dinner with my wife and we can easily spend $150, appetizer, 2 entrees. I drink bottles of water. She drinks maybe a glass of wine. Some of the restaurants, even I went to Makoto the other day and they had prices in dollars. This is the capital, not expect for things to be cheap. I'll go a little bit more in depth on another video about the cost of living. I'm gonna give you examples as to apartments in some of the best areas. So make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna be showing you everything Dominican Republic, how to move, relocate, and make an efficient and effective move to the island. I put Punta Cana here because it is a touristy area. It's gonna be much more expensive than Santiago, but because you are limited in the amount of things to do compared to Santo Domingo, you do not spend as much money in Punta Cana as you would in Santo Domingo. In Santo Domingo, you can go out to a different restaurant every single day for an entire year. You're having to tip valet, going out to social events. Those things add up. It comes down to apartments. You may be able to find things a little bit cheaper in Punta Cana, but overall, because of the social climate that Santo Domingo has, it's definitely gonna be much more expensive. Santiago is known for its affordable housing. Although it does have the most expensive price per square meter, housing, food, and everything is less expensive than when compared to Santo Domingo and Punta Cana. The cost of living in Dominican Republic isn't what it used to be. If someone's telling you that you can live in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods for that much, they are lying to you. After COVID, prices here skyrocketed. To be able to find a 3-bedroom apartment in Santiago for $400. Now that same apartment is going for $900. That's why it's important to make sure that when you are planning on making that move out here, that you are planning accordingly, talking to people that live here, and you are getting real numbers. I'm gonna be making a video here in the next coming days about the true cost of living. I'm gonna take y'all grocery shopping with me, do different day-to-day tasks so that you can see how much things cost here. Last but not least, one of the most important factors to consider is safety. Now, before I dive into this topic, I wanna make one thing clear. So many people message me on a regular basis and comment talking about how the Dominican Republic is this dangerous place. I send my daughters to school every single day, not worrying if something's going to happen to them at school. When I go back to the States, I'm always on constant alert. I'm always looking around. I'm always thinking about, is someone armed here? Is someone going to this place up? And it's sad. I don't like to think like that. However, that is a reality. Here in Dominican Republic, crime does exist, but most of the crime is domestic between two known associates. And I have to make that clear. Does crime happen here? Absolutely, just as it does anywhere in the world. Most of the crime that you hear people talk about are atracos, that people got their cell phones stolen. A cell phone can be easily replaced. A life can't. So with that being said, let's dive in. The most dangerous one out of the 3 is gonna be Santo Domingo. If you live in Piantini, Naco, Evaristo, La Pirilla, Casicascos, any of those neighborhoods, Anacaona in the center, you're gonna be extremely safe. If you go to like Capotillo, Gualey, La 42, I'm not saying those are the worst neighborhoods in the world, but you do have to take a little bit more cautious. I did make a video, go check it out, where I visited one of those neighborhoods, spoke to a local, and he talked about how the neighborhood has been transforming in recent years from a crime-ridden neighborhood to prosperity, and how the community has come together and how they're making a positive impact to future generations. The second ranked is gonna be Santiago. It does have its rough neighborhoods, however, it has changed. One of them is Cienfuegos, which people were like, you'll never go to Cienfuegos, and I'm there on a regular basis, giving back, helping the community, being a part of the community. And one thing that I've learned is that it has transformed in the last 10 years, where there used to be a lot of gang violence, now there isn't. The safest, I'm gonna say by far, is Punta Cana. Punta Cana, because of how the tourist area, there's a lot of attention when it comes down to the public safety. And Punta Cana, whether you live in Punta Cana Village, Punta Cana Resort, Cap Cana, Vista Cana, these are all gated communities that have security at the access points, but security going all throughout the communities, security cameras to ensure the safety of its residents. So there you have it. When it comes down to safety, I'm ranking Punta Cana number 1, Santiago number 2, and Santo Domingo number 3. So there you have it. We talked about 6 different key factors and we ranked it on a scale of 1 to 3. Now, I know some of you may have differences of opinions, and that's completely fine. We are all entitled to our opinions. However, I'm sharing my point of view and my perspective as to why I rate these the way I rate them. And if you like the city and you hate the beach, well then, your quality of life is gonna be better in Santo Domingo than it is in Punta Cana. So now we're gonna find out who the true winner is, and we're gonna add up all the scores. So in 3rd place, with a score of 12, is Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo is a great place. It's a great transition point, especially if you're coming from a major city or you're coming from the United States and you want to have access to restaurants, shopping, hospitals, nightlife, and more. Santo Domingo is a great place. However, due to the drawbacks of the traffic and no urban planning in sight, for me, it's extremely hard. In 2nd place, the score of 11 is Santiago. And Santiago is the future of Dominican Republic. With the new monorail coming in, the teleférico, the expansion of the airport, the new hotels and shopping mall. One of the downsides for me, and that's only because I have a family, if you're single, this may not be the case, is the fact that there aren't many things to do here for kids. If you have a family and you want to take them to a play area or an activity, unfortunately Santiago is not going to offer that. But It does have great healthcare, mass transportation, airport, and it is the future of Dominican Republic. And the winner with a score of 10, and I never thought I would say this, is Punta Cana. Punta Cana is a place that has infrastructure, hospitals, but it gives you the best of both worlds. You're in the Dominican Republic with almost an American lifestyle. You can own a home at a fraction of the price that you can in Santiago or Santo Domingo. Best of all, you have world-renowned beaches just steps from your home. So there you have it. If you're thinking about moving to the Dominican Republic, I hope this video helped. I hope the information that I shared sheds a little bit of light on the different pros and cons that each city has. If you like content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with fellow family and friends who are thinking about moving to Dominican Republic so we can shed light on what Dominican Republic offers and what it is.